Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our class. Our time is 2:57, and I have here Mr. Castro and Ms. Bavaria. So today, I prepared activities that will help us dive into our topic. Are you guys ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po.
Okay, that's good. Let's start with our first activity. For activity one, we have charades. I'm sure that you guys are already familiar with charades. Am I right?
Yes, po.
Yes po.
Okay, good. Now let's proceed to the guidelines. Each of you will think of 3 activities that you always, sometimes, or never do. Then, before acting it out, you must give a clue. The student that will guess will be given a maximum of 1.5 minutes to guess the answer. But you must take note that you should answer in a full sentence. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. It is clear po.
Yes po.
Okay, I'll give you an example first. I'll give first a clue. So I often do this when I'm stressed, then I'll act it out then. Okay, raise your hand if you know the answer. Okay, Mr. Castro.
Um, you always eat when you are stressed po.
Yes, that's correct. So I often eat when I'm stressed. So do you know, Gus, what you're going to do?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po.
Let's start. I'll stop sharing the screen. Let me give you first a 3 minutes to think of 3 activities. Now, then we'll start.
Okay po.
Notify me when you're ready.
I'm ready na po, ma'am.
How about Miss Laveria? Are you ready?
Yes po.
Okay. Let's start with Tian, and then Laika will be the one guessing.
Okay po.
So Tian and Laika, your timer and guessing starts now. See, the first item yan. Okay.
You are rarely late when there's classes.
Oh yes, that's correct now. So we get the point. Miss Laveria, next one.
You are never noisy when there's face-to-face classes.
Okay, Miss Laveria is good now. Third,
Mm. Book. Ikaw. You read a book. Okay, you read a book every Saturday.
ah, that was fast. Okay, thank you, Kian. Now it's like a turn. Are you ready, Miss Laveria?
Yes po. I always do this every morning.
You always drink coffee every morning.
Okay, next one.
You you listen to music 5 times a week. 5 times a week. You listen to music 5 times a week.
Oh, Mr. Castle is good. Okay, third.
Um, you you rarely buy you rarely buy new clothes when you have money.
Okay, guys, you made a good job acting and guessing. Thank you so much. So we're not yet finished. We have our next activity. Okay. Is the slide now visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes po.
So next, our next activity is climb the ladder. So what about this? May I call someone to read the guidelines? Mr. Castro.
Students will formulate questions about different activities using the words given on the ladder. They will start from the bottom and will take turns in formulating and answering the questions given by each other until they reach the top.
Okay, thank you so much. So here are the words you will use. You will start at the bottom, never. You must make your classmate answer using the words given on each step. For example, Laika will be the first to ask, and the question is, what are the clothes you never wear during summer? So then Kian will answer, I never wear long sleeves during summer. Then it's Kian's turn to ask by using the second word. Do you get it?
Yes po.
Okay, so
Yes
let's
po.
start with Laika, then followed by Kian. Okay, let's start.
Um, what kind of book do you never read?
Fortunately, I never read books or fictional books. Never read
Okay.
books. Okay.
Next.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask a question. Do you sleep in the afternoon during your free time?
I almost never sleep in the afternoon during my free time because I don't have a free time.
Okay. Third, Maria again.
Um, how often do you use the Instagram app?
I hardly ever use the Instagram because I'm more of a Facebook person.
Fourth,
Um, how often do you travel these days?
I rarely travel these days because it's pandemic and I don't have a money.
me too. Okay, next one.
Next, when do you eat chocolates?
Um, Sometimes I eat chocolates, especially when I'm stressed.
That's good for the okay,
Um,
next.
what do you usually do when there's a lot of activities?
I usually cram them.
Next. Oh,
Next, how often do you procrastinate?
Most often, I procrastinate, especially when there's a lot of things to do.
oh. Okay. Second to the last. Oh, no. Oh,
How often do you watch the news?
I almost always watch the news, especially during these days, election period. We have to be aware of what are the happenings in the society.
Yes, that's correct. That's one.
When do you take a bath?
I always take a bath for hygiene.
Yes. So thank you so much, everyone. You made a good job raising questions and answering. Thank you. So let's proceed to the next slide. So I have here a table where the answers are already provided and some questions. Now you will formulate a question or answer the given question on the table. For example, on the first item, I always pray before sleeping. So I will formulate a question like, how often do you pray before sleeping? Do you get it? Like, so for the first three items, um, let us call Kian to answer.
Okay. For the answer, I am rarely late when there's classes. A possible question would be, how often how often do you get late when there's classes?
Okay, and the next one, are you noisy when there's still face-to-face classes?
Um, the answer should be, I am never noisy when there's still face-to-face classes because I prefer to listen to the teacher.
That's good. So the last item, I read a book every Saturday.
Um, do you always read a book? Or
Okay,
I could ask, how often do you read a book?
okay, that's good. Next, we will have Miss Claveria to answer the three items. The first is, I always drink coffee every morning. What's the possible question?
How often do you drink coffee every morning?
Okay. Next, when do you listen to music?
I listen to music 5 times a week.
Next, I rarely buy clothes when I have money.
How often do you buy clothes? How often do you buy clothes?
Okay, thank you so much, like I'm Ian. So these exercises made us show how frequent we do something, like on these items. I always pray before sleeping, and I am rarely late when there's classes. How frequent does you pray? How frequent does you pray?
Always.
Always.
Okay, always. Very good. How about how frequent is he late?
Rarely.
How often is he noisy? What's your answer last time, Mr. Kian? You said you are never noisy. So how
I'm
often?
never noisy.
Okay, never. Then when does he read a book?
I read a book every
Every
Saturday.
Saturday.
Every Saturday. Okay, so that words, your answers, the always, rarely, never, that words are called adverbs of frequency. They show how often something is done from 100% or always to never or 0%. So how are these formed? So we have here, I always drink coffee every morning. I always drink every morning. So I is the subject, always is the adverb of frequency, drink is the verb, and every morning is the time phrase. So um, adverbs of frequency usually go between the subject and the main verb. The time phrase usually goes at the end of the sentence. Do you get it? Okay. So I
Yes
hope you've
po.
learned something, from our activities. Um, I hope that our activities give you more understanding of our lesson. So that's all, everyone. You did a great job. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.